Yo, 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 it's Our Lifestyle, the podcast. It's ODB, the producer and co-host of OLP. Just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, please do so. I'll put a link in the description. You can click the link and it will show you all of the different ways, and it will also include a few different hyperlinks. But if you're on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google Play Music, which is going away soon, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on the platform, Our Lifestyle Podcast. We are a mini trucking inspired podcast, but as I've always reinforced, we hit on many topics, including the 80s, 90s, culture, a little bit of BMX, and love movies, of course. But with that being said, thanks for tuning in. This is our flip through series. Eventually, we're going to make it through all 269 issues of Mini Truckin Magazine. And can't thank you guys enough for subscribing to our YouTube channel here, but also, more importantly, subscribing to the podcast. I'm rocking my Bada Bing shirt, which is my truck. So you can go out to our website, ourlifestylepodcast.com, and you can order merch. If you use the code YouTube OLP, you'll get 10% off. So check it out. With that being said, we're going to jump in here to issue number 9 of Mini Truckin Magazine. And I want to let everyone know as well that the 23rd through the 25th of October, we will be in Maggie Valley, North Carolina for Southeast Mini Truckin Nats, also known as Mini Nats. And this is the special edition shirt that they did. You can check them out on Instagram. Just type in Mini Truckin Nats. All right. So, 83 owned by Robert Wilson, who, by the way, we've had on the podcast, thanks to our good friend Ruben Artiaga, the R.A. Ruben. So this is a mint copy of issue 9. This rounds out the volume 4. The numbering system is very weird through the early Mini Truckins, and it was actually written about in one of the issues, and I think I talked about that a couple times for the earlier reviews that I've done. But this truck is classic. Robert Wilson owned it. Let's jump right in here. So, seeing a reoccurring theme with this advertisement, it always reminds me of the old Toyota commercial, seeing someone jumping like that. I don't know how she could be jumping that close to the truck, but some of you guys will remember, I love what you do for me, Toyota. All right, snug top, classic. There's the Mini Truck Nationals and coverage by Mini Truckin and Truckin 24th, 25th, 26th of 30 years ago. Yes, 1990. What a great year. That's when Back to the Future 3 came out in May of 1990. 7 months or so after Part 2, which came out in November of 89. All right, so this is Brian McCormick. This is his second cover. And Brian, who we've also had on the podcast, thankfully, is really a triple OG when it comes to the truck scene. Here you see the first issue of Mini Truckin Magazine, the coveted first issue, featuring that Nissan. And Brian McCormick, what a fun interview that was. He, of course, was here. He was at Truckin. He went to Street Trucks. He went to a couple of other publications. He's still in the industry doing something related to like kind of suspension and things like that. And a lot of, I think, video and kind of like social media stuff. But if you go back and listen to that issue, you'd be surprised at how he started at Mini Truckin Magazine. And there it goes. Brian McCormick, also known as BMC. BMC number 2U on Instagram, if you want to look him up and follow him. Love looking at these old ads. I actually collect other magazines as well, and it's always interesting for me to see the old, the vintage, like 70s, really the 80s advertising related to stereo, home stereo equipment, car stereo, things like that. Street Dreams. All right, so again, a lot of black and white and some color, believe it or not, the famous X-Tang ad. All right, so this is Magic Touch, and this is a 72 Ford Courier. Dude, heavily modified. something, you'll hear me say this, continue to hear me say this, man. Some of these trucks could still hang today if they came out, which is pretty awesome. At the tail end of my video yesterday for issue 8, I did mention the Superdome. That was, as far as I know, was primarily featured on one cover. And again, we'll get to that in the early 90s, but that's a pretty cool ad. Anytime I see that posted, there's a lot of, chatter about it. Oh, I remember those. Oh, they should bring those back. So on and so forth. Diamond Tilt Hood, which was a little kind of a nod there on the cover, try to get, the buyers. Oh, wow, Diamond Tilt my hood. How do I do that? So some pretty cool old ads. And I'm really fortunate, like I said, to have the opportunity to own some of these early issues. I was really never really had the mindset that I was going to own every issue, and I'm pretty much almost there now. So I got to thank a lot of my friends for that and some of the colleagues in the scene. Mini Truckin Marquee, man, I don't know what it is. This is just such a cool thing to me, just seeing kind of the collage of trucks. And it was pretty awesome. The one that we posted yesterday for issue 8, a gentleman actually chimed in and said, hey, my truck was shot in Orlando. And it was Mini Truckin Marquee, the awesome Mazda that was in issue 8. So I responded back and was like, man, what a small world. He was looking for that issue. And, obviously those are getting harder to find. The late 80s, of course, 88's the one, 89 there's 4, 90 there's 4. Those are tough ones to find. So again, here you go. You got Robert Wilson. If you download Podbean, you can go down and search for Our Lifestyle Podcast. You can actually go back and listen to all the previous episodes. And it's pretty cool because really it's a history lesson for a lot of us, including myself. This issue kind of predated me even reading the magazine. But I knew Robert Wilson's name because he actually had a truck on the cover of Truckin. So he's got like rich history in terms of the scene. That's kind of funny here. It's like this page here. It almost looks like it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. They're the staple. But, being that this is so old, I'm not going to try to like pull that apart. You can kind of see there. I think it's a weird staple issue or something. But, again, a lot of black and white in these. And then, boom, Green with Envy. This one also had 4 features in it. Again, Brian McCormick shot the cover. And this is Ray Block of Anaheim, California. This is a truck that, man, is one of the most featured in the magazine. A Mazda B2200 or B2000. Very similar, obviously. And this thing, I mean, dude, if it came out today, that's the essence of Mini Truckin. Pretty, simple overall. Ties into Simply Choice. We've heard that club come up several times on the podcast. Get your old Truckin t-shirt advertisement. Extra Juice. So always pretty heavy on just stereo equipment, things like that really went hand in hand with the mini truck scene. And then one good thing about doing this, just kind of free-handed, is can twist these. So some of you will remember they actually used to do this, do the feature like that. And the Sandman, and this was Keith Ferguson's from Peoria, Arizona, 86 S10 Blazer. Again, something that probably would come out today and people would just dig. Pretty awesome here. Cal Truck Jam, I love talking about this show, and I would love to bring more information about it. We're going to talk about Cal Truck Jam 2005 here in the next, hopefully, month or two. But this show started in 86, off the top of my head. And this is pretty cool because it is a color ad. So this show ran for a very, very long time. It was one of the most successful out there in terms of, quality and a West Coast kind of run, if you will. Budweiser was always a big sponsor, so it's pretty cool to know. Now, although it wasn't all mini trucks, of course, it was heavy into the genre of that time, which was, the full-size trucks and, of course, minis. That's where Crew Cut was given away. So more coming on that. Split decision, Randy Riggs from Carson, California, 84 Nissan 720. Dude, classic. Super clean. Awesome classic mini truck. Check out the interior. Looks like some pile components. And I could just go through these all day. I have a huge collection of Truckin. I have all of the tailgates. I have almost every sport truck, or not every sport truck. I have a lot of sport trucks, almost all the street trucks. So, you know, if you guys continue to like these and give us a thumbs up, then we'll continue to do them. Now, typically I try to keep these about 10 minutes, but I can go over that, which is kind of nice. So that's what I'm doing here. And if you guys can just continue to watch these to the end, that helps us. So we appreciate it. Club directory. So for anybody just looking historical information, you can always pause it. I know we sometimes will I'll sometimes get questions, and honestly, like if you don't detail everything and write it all down or put it into some sort of database, it's really hard to go back and just like find something, you know, a little piece of information. So, you know, this is gonna basically detail out every issue so that if you were to, you know, need to go back and say, oh yeah, I knew it was in issue 10 or whatever, you'll be able to do that. 'Tis the season to give the gift of mini Truckin Magazine gift subscription. And that's the one we went over yesterday. Classic cover. So you got 4 issues. So it was that quarterly magazine, not even bi-monthly yet. Mini sketch pad. Advertisements. Room with a view. Classic truck. Used to love how they would have the rag top in the actual topper, and then of course the tilt bed really just kind of set it off. All right, so here you got West Coast Mini Truckin Nationals and Sunset. We've had Bob Hayes on. We partnered with him related to the Mini Truck Hall of Fame. Yes, that is a thing. It happens typically the week of SEMA. Is the event on that Monday night. It's not going to happen this year. Check that out. Dualies on the rise. Not my favorite body style with the extended cab on those Fords, but definitely were popular in the day. I think the regular cabs get a little bit more love, and of course we put one of those on our recent shirts. Tony's truck that was in Mini Truckin and street trucks. So boom, Viper again. Many of us we remember Viper. I mean, that was the main brand. I think it was them and Python back in the day. So interesting to kind of see. I'm always interested to see what was on the back cover. Usually a company that probably had a decent amount of capital to advertise or have that advertising budget. But thank you guys for kind of, you know, rocking with us here or following us or listening on the podcast. That's really most important. We've got a lot of sponsors, including Custom Car Show Productions, which includes Scraping the Coast, which is every June. And then, of course, they have Orange Beach Invasion, which is every March. So 2 really awesome flagship shows that they have. And we'd ask that if you ever get an opportunity, come down in June to Biloxi, Mississippi. It's hot, but boy, is it fun. Next year is the 19th annual Scraping the Coast. So thank you guys again. And this has been fall 1990. We're almost the fall of 2020. So give or take 30 years ago, Robert Wilson's awesome truck. Again, we've had him on the podcast. Go back and check it out. Mini Truckin Magazine, issue number 9. We got you. Peace.